Brace yourself, Ranger Nation. I hope that got your attention. So, as the video says, this is bracing the Ranger Nation for what's to come in the future, what has been said, what could be said, and have things actually kind of gone forward. So, if you like this sort of content and you want to hear and see more, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as that cheeky notification bell to be notified when more videos drop, and let's jump straight into it. Over the past couple of years, there has been a ton of stuff that has happened and has been said, and I have noticed that there has been a divide in the fandom. Some people are loving the idea of the rumored split. Again, it's not being confirmed nor denied, but I feel like that's your warning. That's a freaking warning. But I feel like there has been a massive divide in the fandom. There have been comments made, very bad comments on what people have said, people coming into other people's videos and just having a go and being nasty and stuff like that. We've also had the animated series that is going ahead, that the former CEO of Hasbro has said that there is going to be an animated version, a kids version, and obviously the normal version. We've had the Netflix version that is coming out by Jonathan Entwistle, which is, he's making a possible reboot or reimagining or whatever you want to call it. So these are the things that we know are coming from it mainly. The main thing is that we hear that some fans want change. They are sick and tired of the Sentai formula. They are sick and tired of the way Power Rangers is right now. And some people want it to keep it the same. They want to keep the major, like the way it is, the formula. The thing is that, 22 seasons, 22 episodes in a season, or the fact is that they just want it to be exactly the same and they don't want change, which that's fine if you want to believe that and you want that, but I'm hoping that you do want some change later on, not just keeping it the same. The fact is that you probably don't even watch it. But that's a story for another day. There is always so much news going around where some is normal, some is scary. I know I made a video a while ago. I don't know if it's out before this video or not. Either way, I made a video talking that if the numbers don't work on Netflix, then it can possibly go into an indefinite hiatus, and thus therefore the show will never come back. And I think that would scare a lot more people. But either way, there's so much going around that I feel like at the moment Hasbro is the only company, or they are the only people that can turn out and say, hey, this is going there. But from what we've seen so far, from when like Netflix doesn't know what's going on, Simon doesn't know what's going on and stuff like that. And I feel that if the people that you're meant to be keeping in the loop don't know, then what's going on with the show, and what is it that Hasbro need to kind of tell us to kind of get this going. I've always thought, and seeing the reaction from when the Illuminati dropped that article saying that Power Rangers is going to split with Toei, or Hasbro is going to split with Toei, and then Hasbro going to do their own thing. Again, this is rumored, take it with a pinch of salt. Anyway, because of this, I feel that when that news dropped, everyone freaked out. But I know over time that this news is settled. It's probably people have forgotten. And I know there are people saying like, oh, Mark, you only make content on this. Like 4 videos last year, I talked about this. But either way, I feel now that if this happens, if they drop it, say tomorrow, in a month, whenever it's meant to happen, at the end of Dino Fury when that comes out, either way, which one, I kind of feel that people are still going to be in the same boat. Well, they'll freak out. They'll go, oh my God, what the fuck? What's going on? Like, why wasn't this told? And I still believe that people will freak out from it and won't believe it. And I know what's going to happen. They're going to email Hasbro, which, how dare you do this? My childhood is ruined, blah, blah, blah. When people say my childhood is ruined, how? You've already had your childhood. It's something that it doesn't go back and change the fact that you've had your childhood. Like, I didn't think that when Thundercats Roar came along. Either way, let's just say that that people are going to be either angry, they're going to be confused, they're not going to know what's going on, and then it will all fall down to Hasbro for releasing their stuff. And I think Hasbro will have to be a bit more transparent, because obviously in the past when a new Sentai would come along, we knew at some point that was going to be the next Power Ranger series, or that would be adapted at some point. The one that scared me the most was the one that my friends over at Global Nerds put out, and that was if Netflix doesn't see something go like more numbers coming through the door and people watching it, then what would actually happen is that it could go on indefinite hiatus, and I think that scared me more for it being cancelled than it is a split that could happen that could or could not make the show any better or any worse. The franchise will go through a massive hole, like it will go through a massive restructure, a new rebrand. You'll probably see a lot more Mighty Morphin to kind of bring people in, but if Netflix can't save it, I really don't know how you can save a brand, because Netflix either they have some good shows, some bad shows. But if you think that you went through Saban, obviously with Fox Kids, and that did okay, then you went to Disney, which did a really good job, then to Nickelodeon, and that couldn't save it, and then now it's on Netflix. How do you save a brand over time with either changing it completely and restructuring it so it's not like the original, or do you just shelve it because you've tried your best and you've tried for almost 30 years to make this series as popular as what it used to be, or at least talked about? It's so confusing, and I do think that some people will freak out about it if it gets cancelled. I know I'm going to freak out about it, and I'll probably talk about it for a very long time. The main thing on whatever you think, either the split, the cancellation and stuff, I think for now it's best to kind of keep it in the back of your mind, because if it does happen, it doesn't catch you off guard, it doesn't make you go what the hell or anything like that, because I feel then that is the worst. Like, I would want to keep it and be like, right, I know this is going to happen, rather than completely forget about it and then it happens and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Oh my god. And then I go, oh shit, yeah, it was mentioned like a while ago. So I feel like now is the time to start bracing, because with Dino Fury being coming to an end filming wise and production wise and all that, as of the 29th of March 2022, that Simon has actually now said that everything is now done. So now we're going to have to find out what the next series is. And again, as mentioned before, Netflix doesn't know, Simon doesn't know. So now where do we go from here? The main thing is, regardless of what you think about Power Rangers, Hasbro is a business. They want to make money. They're not in this to give you free entertainment. For their entertainment, they obviously want toy sales. They want people watching their stuff because you're not watching anything else. And I feel like people forget that Hasbro is a business, that they mainly want this. They easily want to make money, and that's fine. Like, everybody wants to make money so that they can survive, or they can put it into more projects. And if it's a good thing, then it's fine. Like, when Power Rangers first came out, you didn't just watch it, you bought all the toys, and that was the kind of thing. You watched the show, you bought the toys, and then more shows were brought out of Power Rangers, and that was kind of a cycle. And that's pretty much for any kids like show over time. It's the toys. Pretty much look at He-Man, look at Thundercats, look at any of those shows before it, and even anything like kind of around that time. Same with Masked Rider, Beetleborgs, Mystic Knights of Tir Nog, VR Troopers and stuff like that. You all bought the toys, and that's always been a thing. I guarantee you there are shows out there that turn around and just make it for the toys, and people watch it and buy it because they want to. It's kind of interesting because over time I have seen people on Facebook turn around and go, when did Hasbro buy this? And it's like, it's for about 3 years, and they go like, oh, I didn't know. I still thought it was with Saban. I still thought Bandai made it. That's the reason why I've not seen any Bandai toys. And I'm like, how? It's been around about 3 to 4 years since they did this, since they bought the brand. So them not knowing that the split may happen or may not happen, then you don't know. And I always find it baffling that this information's been around and people have been talking about it for quite some time. So when they go like, I didn't know that, I'm like, holy, where did you go? How have you escaped the innocence? You've got the innocence. What have you been doing? One thing I am completely baffled about is the fact that people have been attacking YouTubers that talk about it. Myself, the Oxy, the Illuminati, pretty much anyone who talks about the split in general, where, the second that you mention it, you're public enemy number one, like it's their fault. And it just baffles me on why you would go and attack and be like, this hasn't happened. And believe me, I've seen the comments in my comment section when people have a go and they think that it's the main thing all the time. And I can't figure out why it goes on and stuff like that. So if you're attacking people because you don't like this news, then reevaluate yourself, because at the end of the day, we're just talking about something that you will find interesting, or you may or may not find interesting, but it's interesting to us. We want to talk about it. So stop attacking just for the sake of it. At the end of the day, we're only repeating what we've seen. And I think the Illuminati have had it completely when they've just been attacked constantly. Think of it like this. Would you like it happen to you if you talked about it and then suddenly out of nowhere 5 or 6 people just came out of nowhere and just went for you, just literally went, how dare you, you scum, I hope you do this, I hope you do that, do this, do that, unalive yourself, because effectively you don't like this news. So why would you want that? Would you like that being said at you? And if you say yes, then you really need to evaluate your life, really. Because at the end of the day, we're just giving you the information, and even if no one knew about this and the Illuminati sat on it for ages, and this suddenly happened tomorrow, you would be freaking out. And I guarantee you'd probably be sending Hasbro some interesting emails. I'm a very big firm believer that the split has happened. I've seen it through Zenkaija, through Don Brothers and stuff like that. And I do believe that the splits happened because they're more free to kind of do what they want. Now, I've not seen Kira Major. It's on my watch list to do it. But from watching Zenkaija for the past year, now moving on to Don Brothers, it's just a massive, big kind of twist from what we've seen previously with Ryusoulger, Gokaiger, Go Buster, and stuff like that. When you look at those shows, you can see that they're mainly aimed towards Power Rangers, and even Bandai of America had help with Q-Ranger and stuff like that. So you know that those shows were made to be adapted, should I say. They were made to be adapted later on down the line. But with Zenkaija, it was completely different, as well as Don Brothers is completely different from what it is. So I do believe that the split has happened. If you don't, then that's absolutely fine. I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to say anything. But if you're a fucking dick to me, I'm going to be a dick back. It's just that plain and simple. Other things that have popped up is the toy list in Japan. For ages, Bandai of Japan had Power Rangers listed on it, and then they took the name off, which showed that obviously they're not making stuff anymore for it. Even though they're two different companies, obviously they could easily have sent the stuff over to Hasbro and said, hey, this is how you make it. But in general, look at it, like if you take your name off the list of what you make anyway, then that does show something even more, that Japan has started to kind of change the way that they do things. If they do decide to adapt one more season of Power Rangers, then Zyuohger is the only one that they can do. If you're looking at rights and stuff like that, then you effectively can't use anything after the time we've said, well, Dino Fury, since Ryusoulger is the last one, but anything before that, you're free game. So Zyuohger would probably be one that you could easily do. Lupin versus Pataranger can't be done because of the elements, as well as Q-Ranger having way too many Rangers, and this has been confirmed by Simon himself, who, yet again, once he says something that the fans don't like, he is public enemy number 1 in their eyes, because they don't accept it. But yet, if it was the other way around, they'd be praising him, and we've seen this all the time. He's given his reasons. He knows better than anyone right now why they can't be done, and yet no one was happy with it, which I find kind of insulting, that I find that you only like to cherry pick the good information rather than the bad. If it goes against what you want or what you say, then that's it. You hate that person. And I think that if you believe that, then that's just a really bad thing to kind of take in life, because can you imagine if people did it to you and it's like, oh, I'm going to take your best achievement or your best work, but if you don't make anything I don't like, fuck yourself, go fuck yourself type of thing. It's one of those things that I just don't understand people in general, and yet people tried arguing back, giving him like, oh, you can do this, you can do that, when Simon said, no, you can't. We can't do this, and this is the reason why. If he just said, nope, I can understand people pushing back, but he gave good enough reasons. I think there's gonna be two ways. One, they will literally come out and tell us when all of this happens in a press conference, or they'll release a statement, or go online somewhere, or they'll tell us through the series. Now, we know that there is a Netflix. So when I wrote this video, I didn't know about the Netflix thing that they just put up for like 3 to 4 weeks or 6 to 8 weeks or whatever. So I didn't know this at the time. So we know that that could happen, and that could be the end where they say, this is what's happening, this is what we're going to do, and then they change it that way. So we will find out very soon what's going on, or it could be a very short season, like literally 3-4 episodes. Who knows what they're going to do, but soon we will find out, and that we only found out through other people who bought the casting sheets. So again, it wasn't Netflix, it wasn't Hasbro that came out, It was another company that told us something was coming out. So what the fuck? Seriously, just literally calm it down. We need to know, Hasbro. Fucking need to know. Mainly, we need to start bracing ourselves. It's coming to that time where we need to know what the next season is, because that's what's always happened, and I'm sure Hasbro will kind of do it. But you have to kind of think that if Hasbro isn't getting their investment, why are you going to waste millions of dollars on a thing that you're not getting anything back? But again, they haven't really done anything major with the main toy line. They have the only line that they are more comfortable with at the moment is just the Lightning Collection, and I feel like that's a bad thing, because you think they'd be putting all their kind of money and time and effort into the main line rather than just being shit and not doing it. If you're going to focus on one, just focus on the Lightning Collection and that's it. Don't do stuff from the series. I also kind of think from the fan point of view, if you think that it needs to stay exactly the same because that's what you're used to, yeah, we've had this for what almost 30 years now. But when change comes along, that we need change, no one likes it, and it's instantly like, fuck this, like, how dare you change a show that's like this, like, I will hate this, or I will not watch this. Hell, we've had it through a lot, like, people don't watch it for certain ranges or certain people, and it just gets really kind of frustrating, because I know you're going to watch it, I know you're going to see what it is, because that's what you want. But I just kind of feel, in general, that, you know, change is good. You know, we want something different now. The show hasn't evolved. The show hasn't really done anything spectacular since it first aired almost 30 years ago. So I feel like majority of the time is like, we need this change. Otherwise, it's just going to go down the pan. And I don't want the series to go down. I don't want it to be cancelled. But it's so close to being cancelled because the ratings aren't great. Probably the toy sales aren't that great. And things need to change. The only thing that's probably doing super well is the Lightning Collection. Kind of closing this off, I'm empathetic to the people that would have this affected. You know, I don't want this to change. I want this to change in the good way, but not to a change where it could be cancelled, or that if the show doesn't change in general, it will get cancelled. So I want it to kind of move forward. I want it to be what it is. I do also believe that some people do need to listen to other people and kind of get their different views rather than go and attack, because I feel like if you attack someone, what's that going to do? You're just going to anger someone that will like clap back and stuff. And believe me, when I've seen this in my comment section, when I've talked to people, you know, I think a lot of people don't expect me or the person who makes their video to respond to them, and they go, oh shit. But I don't think we need to attack. I think what we need to do is look at this, and if all of us are wrong and they do continue for the next 10 years with Super Sentai, then yeah, people will say, hey, you know, hands up. But you also have to kind of think that things have changed. Like, things can change right now. Since that news dropped, what's happened is they could have changed. They could have come to a deal and gone, okay, we're going to work with this, and not kind of be under the Saban handbook as well as the Toei handbook as well of what they can do and what they can't do. So I feel like things can change. If they bring Zyuohger, I know some people are going to be like, see, but this Zyuohger, fine, whatever, you've got that sort of thing. But for now, we've got to see what happens. I would rather people brace themselves for this right now. I think people need to, because it's going to happen. And even if it doesn't happen in the next couple of years, it will eventually happen, even if Hasbro sell it off to someone else. But right now, we just need to kind of brace ourselves for it. Brace yourself, Ranger Nation! That's how I see this. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I've talked more than enough. I don't think I'm going to be talking about the split until either we get concrete information or anything like that, but I think I'm going to leave it there. If I reference it, I reference it, but I think this is the main topic that I wanted to speak about, and I think that's going to be about it. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think that people should attack people for the sake of it? Do you think people should scream? Are you bracing yourself for what's happening? Let me know down below in the comments. And if you like this sort of content and you want to hear and see more, hit that like button, hit subscribe, check out the merch, turn on all notifications. And if I don't see you tomorrow, then I'll see you in a couple of days.
チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとうございます。チャンネル登録、高評価お願いします。以下のリンクから商品を入手することができます。